So look, casting, it's a very unusual two-row in terms of its results. It's kind of limit. It doesn't. It's not up or down. It's very much a steady Eddie variety, I suppose, is the way to put it. It had a very good year on farm in 2021, and I think as advisors, people talking about this, agronomists, merchants, this is a variety that everyone will know about. I think after 2021. Last year, I think Nigel was saying to me, Jez, he said people haven't heard of casting. You haven't really spoken about it as much, but certainly I think after this year, everyone will have heard of casting because it had a very good year on farm, to be fair to it. Look, for ourselves, it's been on the list now. They're the 1 year results presented as a tree. It does a kind of a very steady 101, 102. It doesn't really vary up or down. And there are kind of three unusual years as well for winter barley. If I go back to the previous 3 years, again, 103, 102, 101. So very steady again. And look, to be fair to the Department of Agriculture, they've always they've great trials, and casting seems to suit the Louth sites, the Dublin sites, the sites in Cork, etc. So it's a solid barley for around the country. In terms of its agronomics, look, it has a 5 for Rincosporium. People are worried about that. To be honest, I wouldn't be overly worried, because what we see in the trial sites, and I mentioned this at the open day, is that it doesn't seem to get the Rinco early on in the time. And I'll go into that in a second in a few minutes. It's very good on mildew. The best on the list on mildew, really excellent variety on mildew. And that can rob disease early on in the season. You could be there in the month of February with mildew coming into other competitor varieties, but you won't see that with casting. It does have a high grain number per square metre. That's where its yield is coming from. And I think, grain number per square metre is more important for winter barley yield than grain size per se. And I think that's the reason why casting is able to do it each year. The dry year, 2018, the wet year, 2019, high yield year, 2021. When it has those grain numbers per square metre, the grain fill per se isn't as, important, and that's quite important on it. And look, I suppose a lot of people would have rang us up and said, Jesus, look at the length of the head on that. It had a very impressive head there coming up to harvest. Looking well, something we've seen ourselves. Just moving on to the Rinco. With casting, we don't see the Rinco. This is February this year. Myself and Dennis Dunn, the trials manager, were in the trial site assessing over winter kill. We didn't see much Rinco compared to a competitor there. If you zoomed in on that picture, there's a lot of Rincosporium in the picture that's actually causing tillers to die. Casting doesn't seem to get Rinco before growth stage 30. The score is correct, but before growth stage 30, it doesn't get that early season Rinco. That's a picture the Eleanor and the marketing would have taken one of our seed crops. That field had a really good year this year, same again last year. A very solid barley. That grower delivers some high quality seed into us every year, and very interesting, 2 years in a row for very clean fields, does very well. And I suppose, look, there would have been a little risk of take all there as well.